Hi, Dave Jack here, Superintendent of Fauquier County Public Schools with another edition of One Hard Question. This week's hard question is another culmination question. In other words, it's come to my attention both from some parents, mainly at the last school support council meeting or the school support council meeting before last, but it's also popped up in other places, and I want to address it because it's important. But I need to give you a little uh, background information first. Um, I decided this past fall that we needed to change the structure of principals meetings. I felt like if we were going to bring principals in and take a big chunk of their day away from them once a month, that it needed to be a time where we tackle difficult issues and sort of meaningful issues relative to student progress, instruction, etc. So in one of the very first principals meetings this fall, we did sort of a needs assessment. We spent a day talking about what are those issues and those pieces that are sort of most important to moving the school division forward, and things that are perhaps controversial that need to be addressed, etc. And there were lots of different topics that were brought up and discussed, but the one that rose to the top as being, of perhaps greatest significance right now is homework. So what we did, starting in, I believe, September, we made the focus of every single principals meeting this school year about homework. And I shouldn't say the entire school year, because we're getting to a good place now where we're perhaps wrapping up the conversation and perhaps ready to tweak the draft proposal regulation that we have and implement it perhaps sometime early next fall. So all that to say, it's not simply that, well, we've been talking about homework at the principals meetings. No, homework has been the topic of every principals meeting starting this past fall. Okay, it's what we have talked about and what we've researched and what we've spent a great deal of time working uh, as a whole group, and then by level, middle, high, and elementary. And the end goal is to make sure that what we're assigning students makes sense, that what we're assigning students in terms of homework is actually meaningful, and it's best practice instructionally, and it is varied, and it is actually something that is helping students be more successful in the classroom. And so there is a feeling amongst principals in particular that that's not necessarily what's happening now. That in some instances, perhaps folks assign homework just because they think they're supposed to, or uh, folks make homework assignments that are just not digestible, it's just too much, or perhaps the homework assignments again don't reflect best practice. In other words, we're pushing hard to sort of make sure that the classroom environment is varied and there's different instructional practices and techniques being employed. Well, homework has to reflect that. So those are the kinds of things that we've been talking about, and this is huge because we have a school board homework policy and a superintendent's regulation related to homework. We have to proceed cautiously and make sure that we get this right, because it is a big step to change a school board policy and a superintendent's regulation. So we want to do it right. We want to make sure we are proceeding wisely. And so some of the questions that have been tackled again have to do with the amount of time students should be spending on homework, how much homework should be weighted in terms of a student's grade. Um, should homework, this is a big question, should homework cause a student to fail? Should it be a factor in whether or not a student passes a class? Next, do we differentiate for AP students and dual enrollment students? So all those things have to be sort of digested. So it's not to repeat myself, even though that's what I'm doing. It's not just as simple as, yeah, we talked about it. It has been the focal point of principals meetings this year, and I would expect that sometime in the fall, after we've provided some staff development opportunities for teachers, that we will be changing our homework policy. It'll be different. We're not doing away from homework, but we'll certainly be implementing change whereby it's more meaningful and it's promoting learning. That's really the goal. And then we'll move on next year to other topics of great interest for principals as related to their school and their school environment. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. Thanks very much.